Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my freelancer somewhere above Yella. Now 3.4 has now gone live this past week, and there's been a host of bug fixes and improvements to the flight system which are ongoing, and a lot of the improvements will actually have to wait to 3.2. But I was pleased to see some improvements they've done to the gravlev system for the Nox and the Dragonfly. Now, one thing which continues to impress is the actual fidelity of the procedurally generated moons, and this is only work in progress, and Yella is absolutely amazing to look at, and to be honest, I could probably stare at it for hours on end just flying over it in my freelancer. Now, I made it out to the Arpcourt mining facility where I was going to pick up my Nox and to test if the new gravlev system was working, and well, let's go and find that out now. Now, previously when you got in one of these Noxes or Dragonflies, you would actually be probably just totally spinning out of control, but I'm happy to say that the Nox is actually working very well indeed. Obviously it's still work in progress, but well, I can actually use the Nox as it was intended. And in fact, a few weeks ago, John Pritchard, I think, said on Around the Verse that originally he had the Nox working perfectly before the 3.0 release, but due to some code changes, it affected the actual system the Nox was using and actually made it completely, well, unflyable. And he's been working ever since to put that right. Now, the gravlev system does seem to actually have some type of automatic collision avoidance system, and it does seem to do the job very well indeed, and especially with my piloting skills, it does need to be pretty, well, damn good. But of course it doesn't work all the time, and well, I put that collision down to pilot error. But it is really enjoyable, and I'm certainly going to go back and fly my Nox or Dragonfly across one of these moons very soon, and it's a welcome improvement to what we have in the game.
Alert. Front crash close. Alert. Front crash close.
And this week's Around the Verse, hosted by Chris Roberts with Sandy Gardner. Now, it featured an update from Ricky Jutley on what the studios have been working on recently. Ricky gave us an update on what they've been working for the upcoming 3.2. And first of all, he started off with the work in progress on mining, and obviously he told us that a lot of this VFX work is work in progress, and he showed us how rocks break apart when they're shot with lasers. We had a look at some mining lasers, and these aren't the final versions. This is very much a placeholder, as is this tractor beam, and they're actually taking feedback from Chris Roberts himself. And we've got an early look at how you would scan for some mineable minerals. Also, Ricky confirmed that your weapons would be offline when you're in mining mode. Now, they're continuing to work on AI, and Ricky showed us this test level they've got, which at the moment is highlighting some of the inadequacies of the AI, especially when they put it over the network. So obviously they've still got a lot of work to do to enable AI to engage us in combat. We saw some early VFX work on the new version of the Aegis Avenger, So always nice to see some damaged states and some nice explosions, and they've been working on the damaged state effects for the Anvil Hurricane. Now Ricky told us that they've been working on some sound design for the Gemini 55. And the Scalpel sniper rifle. Now we saw some work being done on some hangar doors which open, and the sound effects which go with the animation. Now we had a look at the ongoing work for Hurston and the different environments that planet will actually have, and some of them aren't going to be very pleasant, and this one's a very toxic environment, so I'm certainly not going to actually walk through this area. Now this one looks a lot more inviting, a savanna area, some nice trees and some nice long grass. Now I'm wondering if sometime in the future there will be an abundance of animal life inhabiting some of these areas. I guess that will be pretty interesting to see what they come up with. Now this area is called the junkyard, and it's basically just shows you that they're not actually into recycling on Hurston. And this area is actually work in progress on what they're doing for the looks of the actual Lorville landing zone. And obviously this is still very much a work in progress, nothing is final. Now, the rest of Around the Verse featured an ongoing look at how they're refining the kiosk system, and this system will be used to buy and sell items, put them in your inventory or store them for later. And obviously we'll see more of this as we get ongoing releases through the year. Now Gerard Huckabee hosted another ship shape segment, and this one featured work which is ongoing on the Vandal Blade, which I think should be released for 3.2. Now the Vandal Blade is a Gladius size fighter, and it was actually interesting to hear some of the backstory to the Vandal technology, how they actually don't invent anything themselves, they just actually make do with what they actually scavenge from worlds they conquer. Now we did learn that they actually use some type of biogel to bind the components of their ships together, and that was pretty interesting to actually find that out, because I've never actually been too much up on the lore for the Vandal. Now the Vandal Blade does look like an interesting ship, and as I said earlier, we should see it flyable in 3.2. Well, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to like, and also if you'd like to subscribe, please do. So until next time, wherever you're watching out in that big universe, you take care, and hopefully I'll see you all sometime soon. Bye for now. Think someone's just stolen my Knox.